Nerds and geeks back at it again. It is the legendary Saturday nights of the Nerdle Roundtable. Yours truly, King Nerdificent, in the building. I see Dr. Liz with some new hair.
You know, I am so glad to be here with y'all. I took a break from going to go find some baby oil so that I can actually come. You know, they're sold out
so
everywhere.
You could come. Oh, Liz. Oh, wow, Liz.
Nope.
Filthy, Liz. Filthy.
Starting right off.
Go win nowhere except to hell.
Damn. It's on and popping. Ryan Twitchmaster McBain.
Yay. No Diddy.
Thomas Talking Cunningham.
What's upper?
Suicide Watch. So a few things hit the nerd sphere this week, besides Agatha All Along, Transformers 1, or as I like to call it, Meh-formers, hit theaters. There's a couple of other really tasty treats that we have not been able to get to. Where would y'all like to begin?
Agatha
All Along. I got a chance to see that yesterday, and damn it if I was not surprised at how much I effing enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be campy and kooky, and it turned out to be a well-written, well-crafted continuation of the WandaVision story. There is touches of or trace residual from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but the story that they are telling in Agatha All Along actually kept my attention the whole way through. There is a choice action sequence. There is bare assness. There is eat my ass claims. I'm like, whoa, like Agatha All Along, eat my ass. Where is Ryan Reynolds part of this? It is actually, for me, it is from the recent, and not even the recent, from pretty much all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe series, except for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which had quite possibly the most exciting opening sequences that we've seen, not just in the MCU series, but in the MCU period. That opening sequence for Falcon and the Winter Soldier is astounding. That should have been released on IMAX. It was so damn good. But for Agatha All Along, for me, the speed in which they got it up and running and introduced the characters and set the stakes within these first 2 episodes, I was like, this is one of the better MCU series for accomplishing that, not for giving us 3-4 episodes before we're like, oh, okay, I see where you're going. That was my take.
I have a question.
Question away.
Okay, so I could have sworn, now forgive me, I could have sworn that they spent a great deal of time in Doctor Strange, the last Doctor Strange. They spent a great deal of time in really divorcing Wanda from Scarlet Witch. So to have her show up as dead Wanda in this, is that really going to be her dead? Or is this, and then I'm like, how did this even happen? Or is this just a manifestation?
Well, in the first episode of Agatha All Along, what we see is Agatha is still trapped in a television series. She's still trapped in a spell, and in that spell, part of what helped crack through or helped break through from the spell and release her from the spell was seeing Wanda. And then we learn later on in the series that is a part of the character who right now is just being named Boy. We all know that is Billy Maximoff, and that is why Agatha cannot understand what he is saying or understand when he's trying to explain who he is. But that is who that character is. That's all a part of helping Agatha be released from the spell. But until actually coming into contact with Billy Maximoff and having the spell broken, that's still part of life. And that's why you see later that she says, now that she's out of the spell, she sees all copies of the Darkhold has been destroyed. Scarlet Witch is dead. Now I got to get my shit back.
I have to say, I was not convinced about using the TV show trope.
Mhm.
I mean, it made sense. I just wasn't sure about it. But the thing that pulled me in is that I'm a huge Mayor of Easttown fan. So
Mm.
the fact that it was basically Mayor of Easttown, I like her as an actor, but mostly as a comedic actor. And even though she was kind of lampooning Kate Winslet or lampooning Tina Fey's Kate Winslet, something like that, because there were different kind of meta layers operating. I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed the fake Mayor of Easttown show, even outside of the context. Sitting here watching, knowing that it's a spell, sitting here watching, knowing that she's going to break out of the spell. She recognized the darkened fingers at the beginning, and it gave her pause, and the brooch, and like all these little things that were kind of winding her back to becoming aware of herself. That worked for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, I don't like Agatha all along. I liked it better when it was Agatha Coveney or whatever. They had all those different fake names, but for it to really be Agatha all along, which is a play on the kind of goofy, spoofy song that they did at the end of WandaVision, is not my favorite way to go. But I'm trusting that, given Aubrey Plaza and the other people that are going to be emerging throughout the series, I'm convinced that even though I didn't know that this needed to be made per se, Wanda is an amazing character and a powerful character, and so anything that kind of gives hope that a trigger that she's going to be returning is welcome.
One thing that we've seen, at least in recent trades and from recent conversations, Elizabeth Olsen is really making the rounds, talking about how she's absolutely willing to come back. Hey, just call, give me a call. And one thing that they have that was released from, and this was released on Reddit by someone who has cracked the code again and gotten some Disney inside information, as we often see turns out to be true when they start leaking this stuff on Reddit, is that they were secretly working on a Young Avengers project and a project that was going to bring Wanda back, because we know that they're doing the Vision series. We know that they are moving forward with the Wonder Man series, two characters that play heavily into the life of Wanda and into this story, kind of where we at roundabouts, from Wanda creating this reality, the death of Vision, all these different things, the creation of her kids, all these different things play out loosely in various comic book stories. But there was talk of them doing a Young Avengers series and a Wanda series, and they said, nah, F that. Let's go on and make this a film where we have the Young Avengers coming back to bring Wanda back, to actually realize and bring her back. And there's a greater threat that they need to bring her back because of. And we also know that in the Ironheart series, besides what's the name being the Hood, besides Anthony Ramos being the Hood, we know that Sacha Baron Cohen is signed on to play, as Brian has been waiting for, besides the return of Iron Fist, Mephisto. So we've already seen some images of Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. So there's a lot at play with this Agatha All Along series. Then there's a lot of heavyweights behind this, besides Esposito and Feige and everyone actively behind this series. There is a clear reason why they're going with this one first. And from all the Easter eggs that we've seen, this all leads to Wanda coming back ultimately.
Well, nobody stays dead in comics, so
well,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Sure.
The only thing that's better than an asshole character is a funny asshole character. Agatha is hilarious. I love it. Like, I can't hate her, because when she's a total asshole, it's just always funny.
Yeah.
Throwing shit out the window, how she like berates people.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. My only concern, the only thing that I can really say that's bad about the show per se, is that they waited too long to put it out. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I dig
because
that.
WandaVision was the first MCU TV show on Disney Plus.
Hmm.
So I get it. Like they wanted to wait a little while. The show would have been perfect if it came out right after Doctor Strange 2, because that's when the Darkhold is
I really
destroyed.
don't
Yes.
believe
That would have made sense. Also,
I
my
don't
question
believe
is also hold on. My question is this: so the spell is broken, so the town is free. So the town's just playing along with Agatha because they're still afraid of Wanda. How does that really? Because the whole town seems to know that who she really is. That's the way I kind of understood it.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because like when I love how anytime she brought up her name, she was like, "Ooh, we don't say that name,"
Exactly.
and how they were like, you've been over there tripping for the last 3 days, and the things that they let us know that the town is still impacted, like even showing the foundation of the home still there.
Mhm.
When they walk by, so I'm like, okay, so all of that's in play, and the town is still recovering, and everyone is still hell of afraid of her. I am also curious to see where this goes and how much involvement there is in the town, or have they left the town behind? Like going on the Witch's Road now, as we saw in the end of this episode, was the town just to set the stage, just to bring us back to that Disney Plus reality of like, hey, we are still, that wasn't a waste of your time watching that series. And even though you may not have liked Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that still has a role in the larger story we're telling. And maybe that's all we need to see of the town, because if they're on the Witch's Road, why do they go back to the town at any point in the series? I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Okay, to Ryan's point, and I think that I think this goes to the larger, not just this show, but a lot of other shows. I'm like, you waited too late.
Mm.
I feel the same thing about like I know that Tom and I are the only ones who watch the Lord of the Rings and their series. I'm like, my
No,
God.
I watched that series. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well, like I forgot what happened, kind of a thing. You wait a year, year and a half, 2 years. I know it hadn't been 2 years, but my point
Mhm.
is that
Yeah.
you wait too long. I forgot. But at the same token, I think that they didn't think that Agatha was going to be the breakout. So I
Yeah,
don't
I can
think
see that.
that. So I think for this is the reason why it took so long. I believe is because this was supposed to be a breakout for Wanda's character, WandaVision, and it also was supposed to be this very nice little, very good intro for. Forgive me, what was the black girl's name?
Oh,
For the Marvels, right? The
yeah.
Marvels.
Oh, Photon or whatever.
Proton, yeah.
Spectrum. Yeah,
And
whatever.
but instead, all of a sudden, everyone got fixated on Agatha and let's do something.
I'm giving them a little bit of grace on the whole timing thing, because there was that writer's strike and
Yeah,
the
that's true.
actors that struck. And I
That's
mean,
it.
so there was just, we lost months and months and months of stuff that should have probably been happening. And then I think all of the streaming services, and Disney is no exception, literally all of the streaming services had to take a look at whether or not it made sense to invest in something, especially a series, because it's just a lot more expensive than producing a 2-hour movie and, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there were a lot of factors that went into it. My thing is that if it's good, we don't have 4 Marvel movies a year anymore. So we need
True.
something that's
True.
good. And if it's good, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're all waiting on Daredevil. So,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are, and you've got this little thing. It's better than Echo by a
Yeah.
lot.
Off the top.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Off the top. Okay.
I just I want to try to give
Liz, that's a lot of
Feige a
background
chance.
noise.
Yeah, you keep tippity tapping, ma'am. Okay. So I am willing to give him a chance to produce good stuff,
Yeah.
basically, at the end of the day. And Deadpool versus Wolverine was very good stuff. I mean, to the tune of $1.3 billion worldwide. I mean, you can't deny. And it's almost like Ryan Reynolds is the closest thing to RGJ right now, because it's like, oh gosh, is there anything we can do without him? Because I
Mhm.
mean, he's that safety net. He's that fourth wall guy, and it'll be fun. And thank goodness Secret Wars, and he's going to be around. And also, he's the key to the kingdom of X-Men. He really is Marvel Jesus. And so it'll be interesting if we have the RDJ era and then that era in between after Endgame. And
Yeah.
then now there's a new Ryan Reynolds era to kind of bring us back and land us back into some quality storytelling. Because that's, I think, the thing that was missing in that not post-Infinity phase. What was the story we were really trying to tell? And the story of, oh gosh, people are back now, that wasn't enough to carry anything. And Kang obviously imploded. I don't know that I thought Kang was going to be a super badass anyway. And then they tried to say that the multiverse thing was basically kind of folding in on itself, no pun intended. But then you bring out Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I don't understand why people are saying it had a weak story. I don't understand why people were complaining about the
Who
villain.
the fuck says that?
Oh no, there were people.
Contrarians.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
The
oof.
people who just wanted to deny the $1.3 billion juggernaut, and oh, da 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 da. It was like, it was a perfect Deadpool movie. It was a perfect superhero movie. You got to see Wolverine with the full comic costume and everything else. So I had really literally no complaints. I thought it was great. But now, where do we go? And Brave New World looks great. Gotta say,
Yep.
excited. It's not too far, but it's far enough where we've got to have something. And so far, Agatha All Along is delivering. So I can't be mad.
And I think we only before the end of the year, we only get one more bite at the Marvel apple with the Spider-Man animated series. Unfortunately, that series is not part of necessarily the larger MCU universe. It tells a prequel story, an animated prequel story, but
Right.
they say it's kind of connected, but it's not. So don't take it too serious. It's just a fun animated series that we're doing based on the characters that we introduced in the Spider-Man world, in the Far From Home world. We're telling a fun story about that, but so I'm like, well, then I don't really care. Like, if you're just giving us a Spider-Man story, Spider-Man origin story, like, I don't care if you're telling us it's not going to be connected to the larger world. It's like, we need to see this universe carrying forward. And I mean, and I appreciate and acknowledge all the things that Agatha All Along did to explicitly connected to the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not coming out of nowhere and forgetting all the things that happened that led up to it. They were very, very aware of all the things that happened in the WandaVision series, and also letting us know that this is a part of the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness story, but trying to let it be its own thing. It's not a lot of episodes, and we know, first 2 episodes aside, this could crash and burn. This could fall apart. We have no idea. But to Ryan's point, I absolutely love Catherine Hahn. I think that she is a phenomenal actress, and what she's delivering in this, I'm like, I'm watching it because of her. Because when she's on screen, when she's grinding and doing her thing, it is a thing to watch. I'm clapping, I'm cheering. I'm like, just eat my ass. I'm like, the way she said it, I'm like,
Hilarious.
that damn near seemed like it was like she said that for real. Like, that wasn't even part of the script. That eat my ass came out of nowhere. Mo Kelly joining us. What it is, bro?
What's happening?
Man, look, another beautiful day under the sun. Saturday nights ending the day for many of our nerd family. We were just talking about Agatha All Along and giving our thoughts on it. And I know we had an opportunity to talk about it briefly on later with Mo Kelly. But now here on Nerdorama, or the Saturday nights of the legendary Nerd Roundtable, what are your thoughts, good sir?
I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I did not have unrealistic expectations as far as what it was supposed to be. It was a fine, I'll say, sequel to WandaVision. It was clear to me that Disney is fine with going into the adult realm. When I saw Catherine Hahn's ass all out there, I said, okay, this is a different type of Disney. And I was fine with it. I didn't expect
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were.
but I'm saying it's so this is a post Deadpool and Wolverine MCU, so it didn't shock me, but I was good with it. and I'm appreciative that it paid off everything of WandaVision. I have no complaints thus far.
I think that big reveal that now you and Tawala have referenced is a part of the Glenn Close surprise streaming revelations school of filmmaking, because I can tell you what she said in that TV show, The Deliverance, was not a sentence I ever expected 8-time nominee Glenn Close to utter out of her mouth. And so this Catherine Hahn thing is right along with that, as far as I just, okay, so that's what we're doing. All right. There it is. There it is.
Now, I am not hip to the Deliverance line. What did she say? Because I've
Tom, say
seen
it,
a
Tom.
lot of people mention it on social
Okay,
media. They're like,
so-
Glenn Close is that bitch. And I'm like, wait,
So-
what did she do?
Okay. There are various rebuses on the internet. I suggest that you look it up, because it is not something I'm willing to say. but let me just say, it is a reference to feminine hygiene and C5 curl patterns.
Liz, you're muted.
Liz, you're still muted.
Yes. I remember what she said.
Yeah.
I
How could
haven't
you
watched
forget?
it. I haven't watched it because I'm not a big horror person. But she was talking about how she can smell someone's
What?
Nappy
Someone's
yeah,
bloody bush?
nappy,
Say it, she's
but it
smelling the
has to be
bloody bush.
nappy.
Say it.
Smell it. She can smell your nappy nether regions.
Glenn
Close was possessed by a demon, and she was dogging out her mixed race daughter.
Yeah.
And that's what she said, with sharpened teeth, while possessing the body of her grandson.
But according
Okay.
But
Yeah,
according
it was a
to
lot.
y'all's dear brother, he said that we all have someone like her in our neighborhoods.
Who said that?
The director.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lee Daniels.
Yeah, Lee Daniels. It's like a
live in the
composite of all
suburbs.
black women or something like that.
No, he's talking about the white woman, Glenn Close. We all
That's what I'm
have
saying.
someone. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Not I can smell your nappy punani.
Yes.
Glenn Close?
Hissing
With the-
it. Hissing it.
I can smell your nappy punani.
I mean, it was a lot.
Wow. Glenn
It was a-
Close.
Let's just say, let's just
I
say
paused
Lee.
it. I was like, wait, what?
Let's
Did
just
I
say that
just hear?
Lee Daniels was dragged for a good solid 2 days, all up and down
Damn.
Twitter.
That
And
is
meanwhile, Monique was
wild.
almost the most restrained I've seen her in years.
Wait,
See,
Lee Daniels is working with Monique again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, he
Oh.
kind of gave her
And they went to lunch or dinner or something.
yeah, after
Okay.
he kind of copped to maybe doing her a little bit wrong after Precious or whatever.
Mhm.
But they have a long-standing relationship, and so it was he would be the first shoe to drop in terms
Okay.
of welcoming her back in.
I think the only.
Well,
Yeah, I'm like, that's shocking to me. I'm like, when you said Monique, I'm like, Monique, what? Like,
yeah, no, she wasn't.
Monique
She wasn't
and Lee
great.
Daniels did something. Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, they did.
The other thing that dropped outside of Agatha All Along, and I don't know if anyone made the trek to theaters to see it. I just saw it literally just a little while ago. Transformers 1, the brand new retelling, new origin of the Transformers universe yet again. This is not, we've seen the Transformers origin a few different times. This one has Chris Hemsworth as Optimus. It has Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1. It has Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee, and it has y'all favorite actor, the black dude that keeps getting jobs.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yes, as
Oh,
Megatron.
Lord.
As
What,
Megatron.
is Megatron?
As Mega effing Tron.
Oh,
He
goodness.
has the best agent.
Look, his
The
agent,
best.
and here's the thing, his agent has got him locked in. I can tell you from through the end of this film, his agent has got him locked into this franchise. As long as they make this movie, he will be the voice. And let me tell you, I went in excited to see this film because there were some reviews from some really respected film critics and fans alike saying this is quite possibly the best origin story ever told, ever, not just in animation, not just in Transformers, because there's a bunch of origin stories. No, this is the best ever. And I literally sat there and said to myself, by best, do you mean having been done over and over and over again? There was nothing original, not even about this retelling, about two people who were friends that, of course, you obviously know that there's going to be something that causes them to split. And the reason that they split, you go, okay, all right. The whole origin of the Transformers as told in this film, I walked out of there and said, this is Meh-formers dumb. I need to be out of this theater. I was not impressed.
I'm glad that you, okay, so that definitely answers one of my biggest questions. So I'm supposed to divorce everything that I know from all this other stuff when I see this.
Yes. You are literally supposed to act like
Gotcha.
this is a brand new origin story that you've never seen before. This tells the definitive origin of Optimus Prime and Megatron. From
See, I didn't
Orion
think it
Pax
was.
and DC-17, I think was Megatron's original name.
I didn't think it was
And
meh. I didn't think it was meh. I did think it was an upscale version of the cartoon. So I mean, I know that
animation-wise, yeah.
I know that's probably not a good compliment, but because it is 2024, or at least in the 20s when this is made, so it should be definitely updated. But I still felt that if you really like the cartoon of the 80s and you do not care about it being attached to anything, then this is not a terrible watch. I do think that I would have loved it more if I didn't watch it at the theater and I watched it at my house. It could easily have been a Netflix movie.
If this would have been on Netflix, I probably, to your point, Liz, I
Yeah.
probably would have said to myself, yeah, this is a lot better. And my son, who's not familiar with the Transformers storyline, he hasn't watched any Transformers cartoon, not even the modern tellings of Transformers War for Cybertron that our good friend Brandon Easton did the writing on for Netflix. He hasn't watched any of that. The only thing Transformers my son has ever watched, really and truly, was I showed him the original Transformers movie from the 80s, just because that's around the time we were watching Flash and watching Last Dragon and watching a whole bunch of stuff. So yes, I wanted him to see that film, and he appreciated it. So coming out of this, he's like, nah, it wasn't mad. He said, he thought it was good. He agrees that this is not something he would ever need to see again, ever. Not ever, because there's nothing about it that makes you go, oh, I need to see that again. You walk out of it saying,
fair.
okay, I got it.
And
That's
there's
the
an after.
story.
You stay for the after credit scene.
Yeah, saw the after credits, and it, for me, unfortunately, while watching the film, everything was predictable. There was not a single solitary moment in this tried and true storytelling of the burgeonings of two friends who go separate ways to become enemies in the end. We've seen this story done too many times for them to not do something original with it. And unfortunately, that's kind of what took me out of it. And then there were things that just didn't make sense, I swear. And I know this is stupid, but the original Transformers cartoon, as we were introduced to it, when they came to planet Earth, they were robots who adopted earthbound vehicles so that they could hide from humans. So the whole transforming into something was to hide. On a planet where everyone is a robot, why are you transforming? I just didn't get the whole point of, what is the point of you transforming into anything when everyone's a robot and there's no need to transform? I just thought that was stupid. And this is a minor, it's not even real spoiler, because you see some of this in the trailer. There's this one scene where they're on the surface of Cybertron and there are robot deer. And I'm thinking to myself, I swear I'm watching these robot deer and I'm like, are they eating metal grass? What are the robot deer eating? Because, and then like, I'm just saying, you have robot deer. Why are there robot deer or elk or whatever they are? Why are they like, do Autobots or robots hunt them and eat their metal meat? I'm like, why do you have robot animals? And that was stupid to me. I just
but it's only deer. Like, there's nothing else.
There's nothing else, Liz. There's nothing else, right? Is that trippy? Like, there's no birds, no nothing. And they just have these robot deer on the surface. So you're like, that was weird. Why do you have robot deer on the surface of this damn planet?
A close-up of the grass, and the grass is sitting on top of metal. So I was like, well, how did the grass grow?
What
How does the grass grow?
So if robot deer eat metal grass, do robot sex workers sell metal ass?
Where's your rib shot? You need a rib shot, good sir. Oh my god!
I have to say, as much as I liked the idea of the trailers and seeing the Transformers look more like, you know, kind of a cross hybrid between their cartoon selves and, you know, a really well realized kind of photorealistic robot.
Mhm.
I had the same question you did about the transformation. I get that transforming is like a special privilege or a power or something. You have to get your Energon credits or whatever before you get the power to transform. And so, but the idea of transforming into a car, you don't? You get to transform off rip, right?
Yes,
No.
and you're supposed
to be able
everybody
to.
is born with this innate ability. Now they took that ability from them without them knowing,
It's a
but
major spoiler. That's a major spoiler alert. You got to say major spoiler alert. Yes. Yes.
They
None
all
of
a
were
little late
supposed
now.
to be they were all supposed to be able to transform. I took it as this is like, you know, I transform because it is a fun thing to do. And who knows what my transformation is going to be. And number two, I can fight with my transformation.
Now, okay, so here's my thing, Liz. If they would have, if the original Transformers ability would have been that they gain weapons, they gain armor ups and power ups and things like that. Okay, that's something that I would have gone along with. Like, you know, the original ability is just for us to armor up. But, and this is in the trailer, when you see Optimus transform into a truck, it's one of those things
Right.
like, why are you a truck, dog, on a planet full of robots? That to me, that's a weird thing for him to turn into. It's
Are
weird.
there roads on the surface?
Now here's the thing: there's only roads when they're driving on them. Outside of that, there's no roads. So as he starts to drive through Cybertron, roads appear like in front of them as they're moving. So there's no roads without them driving on them, Tom.
So it's like Iceman. They're creating the roads as
the roads, yeah. When the vehicles, when and it's not even vehicles that you see. Originally, you see these trains that transport this mind energon around the planet. That then these tracks form in front of the trains, or so you think they're tracks. But then there's this weird race where you have vehicles that are flying and driving.
Yeah.
Robots that transform into cars and jets, all going along this track. So that's weird because you're on the track. Why are you flying and you're sticking to this track? Look, there's a lot of things that I'm like, I don't get what's happening right now.
That reminded me of Super Mario Brothers, Mario Kart. How that race was very Mario Kart-ish. And look, I don't know how I feel about that, but it did seem. But I also have to, and I know this may be the controversial standpoint, it's Hasbro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's and here, okay. But to that point, Liz, it is a Hasbro film release, and then now they have a new Hasbro film intro where they show you all these different Hasbro brands.
And I was like, are we doing Peppa Pig too?
Yeah, like we're like Peppa Pig. They show Monopoly, they show Clue, they show all these things in a Marvel DC-esque type of intro to say that the Hasbro universe is now a thing, right? But this film does not tie into or connect to the live action films wherein the Bumblebee movie, G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, and Transformers Beast Wars are all part of a singular story, wherein the next film and the people who do Bonavento, I can't remember the dude's name, but the dude who's in charge of these damn films, they are doing a Transformers G.I. Joe film. That is the next film, but this film has nothing to do with any of that. So
okay, it's like, well, Tawala, did you see who did it? So Michael Bay,
Steven Spielberg,
Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
I even saw Stephen King's name drop.
Why was Stephen King's name on this list? Why was it Stephen King's name? I said to myself,
Christine. Is it a Christine shout out?
Name was on this as far as I think it was writing or something. I said to myself, I did not see Stephen King's name having to do with writing. That to me was the most shocking thing that I saw. I was like, okay, I know Michael Bay, but Steven Spielberg? Spielberg had a heavy hand in this?
Yes.
And Stephen King? What's happening?
I was like, this makes sense. Because this feels, if you think about it, this is Stephen King-esque, especially when you get to the part where where they get to they see the elders and they get into the green spot. I was like, okay, this looks very much so dinosaurous.
Mm.
I don't know. I just felt like it was a hodgepodge of a lot of different things, and they
It
kind
was.
of made up a story along the way that's cheesy enough. That's a border between. They tried to hit on everybody's nostalgia. If you watched the 80s, 70s, 80s cartoons of Transformers, then you got like this heartwarming feel.
Mm.
I don't know about you, but it was hardly anybody in theater with me.
Oh yeah,
So,
my theater was look, I was in the
um,
Dolby Theater in Burbank, and out of those 150 seats, there was maybe 25 people in there.
and this is
Maybe.
unfortunate because think about it, like what's their competition? And it's still not putting butts in the seats. I feel like it's because the franchise came up with so many bogus movies
Yeah. Yeah.
that it's just
And it's like
ruined the capacity.
it's tough because you have kids who arguably I don't think care enough to want to go see Transformers in a
No.
movie theater because there's so many different animated series on Netflix or whatever, and there's not enough of a draw for us older folks to go see it. Like, those of us who grew up watching Transformers, it's like, do we really need another origin story? Again, I was pulled in from some of the early reviews and we got one friend who said that this was similar to Spider-Man, the animated films, and I was like,
into the Spider-Man.
yeah, and I
Absolutely
was like,
not.
ooh, no,
The
no,
storyline was
no,
way
don't say
better.
that. Yeah,
This
don't say
storyline
that.
was
I mean, seriously, for me, I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot film a lot more than this, and I've watched that a couple of times because it's funny, it's captivating, it's a great coming of age story. This one, the characters are not anything to root for or get
well,
behind.
the Bumblebee character.
To me, I said to myself, if Keegan Michael Key does not stop being the funny black comic relief, I'm gonna really lose it, because he was being funny for no reason at certain points, and I was like, okay, I got it. Like, it's not even live action, and he is literally doing
Oh
his
yeah.
comedic bit. I'm like, I got it. You're the funny black character, because Brian Tyree is not supposed to be funny. He's very serious throughout the whole film, and we don't get that comedic relief he usually supplies in every film he's in for no reason at all. Damn, that's a big dinosaur, whatever you keep saying in Godzilla.
Yeah.
No, in this one, Keegan Michael Key said, I got y'all. I'll bring the comedic relief. I'm funny. And every time he spoke, is almost like I swear I kept looking at his character like, I got it. I got it, man. You're funny. I got it. It's joke time. And then can we get back to the story? Can like, were you supposed to say that at that time? Because it sounds like it's out of place. You're out of place right now, Autobot. Which they weren't. They were just called miners. There was a class of robots that were miners, a class of robots that were the slave masters
It's
of
not
the
that
miners.
bad, y'all. It's
You
not
know,
that bad. It's
I
a
mean,
pretty decent show. It's not bad. Just do
hey, look,
matinee.
Liz, do not have people spend that money on this. This will be on TV soon enough.
Let's just do matinee. But I mean, the competition right now is what, against Halle Berry's movie, and I mean, Halle Berry is bringing out the folks because she's all
It's Halle
over
Berry.
social media,
Yeah.
like, but she's so active on social media
Mhm.
trying to get people into the seats. I don't see this Transformers, like, they really did a bad media rollout.
I mean, it'll probably come in, I'm thinking, number one this weekend, because I don't think the Halle Berry movie, I don't know if enough people are going to go see that. And what else is there? I mean, there's Beetlejuice, but this is Beetlejuice, what,
By
second
the
week? And
way,
so I don't know.
Beetlejuice 2 is actually pretty good. Has anyone else seen it?
I haven't.
Nah. I was gonna see that, but then I remembered I didn't like that film 30 years ago. I wasn't that big of a
Okay,
fan of
it's
Beetlejuice to
actually
begin
much
with.
better than the
I'm
first
sorry.
one.
No, I'm sorry. Like it's not that I didn't hate
I'm
it,
with Waller.
but it's not something that I'm like, oh man, they finally did a second one to Beetlejuice. I just remember
Yeah.
them being lifted up in the air and dancing. I
But it
swear, I
has
remember watching the first one thinking this dude Beetlejuice is annoying as shit, and this movie is annoying as shit.
that's fair. It has a better budget.
Mm.
And I was really kind of even surprised when they start us off with Danny DeVito. And I was like, Danny DeVito, you get 2.2 seconds in this movie. Are you hurt for money? Do you not get
Mm.
roles? Like, I mean, I just would have sworn that he wouldn't be more than just a janitor. And
Oh, Danny. Oh,
right. And then dies. And then so my kids were like, who is that guy? And I was like, oh, we've been reduced to calling out Danny DeVito of who is that guy. It's pretty sad. But as a whole, I think it was a much better storyline than the first one. I don't know. I thought it was more entertaining.
my daughter saw it. She liked it. While my daughter and my ex went to go see Beetlejuice, me and my son went to go see this new anime film. Well, it's not an anime film. It is a theatrical release of a new anime series called Dan to Dan. And Dan to Dan will be coming on Crunchyroll, I believe October
On what?
4th. Crunchyroll.
What's that?
Crunchyroll is a superior
Me too.
anime streaming service. It has literally every anime
great.
ever. It's great. It is
Every
for the
single one.
cost, everything. No, it's not free. It's not free.
Robotech, Speed Racer,
yeah.
whatever.
If you're into anime, you have to have a Crunchyroll account. You absolutely have to.
And how
And I
much is
believe
this?
you can get Crunchyroll. I believe it's now included as part of Prime Video, if I'm
Prime.
not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Prime.
So if you
Oh,
have
is it?
Prime, then you have Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's worth, if you're into anime, it's absolutely worth checking out. Every Saturday night, this is what me and my son were watching series on this app till 3-4 in the morning. There's so much good stuff on there. But Dan to Dan, the theatrical release basically put together the first 3 episodes of the series into a film format and had an introduction from the creators and cast. It is a series about a young man who is a UFO fanatic and a young girl who was brought up in the world of the occult. And they connect in school, and they have like a kind of a competition of beliefs, like UFOs aren't real, ghosts aren't real, and they challenge each other to go and find one or the other. The boy sends the girl to a spot where UFOs are and are supposed to be seen a lot, and the girl does the same with the boy. The girl comes in contact actually with aliens who open up her true occult powers, and the boy comes in contact with a spirit called Turbo Granny, who takes possession of him by removing his manhood, his Franks and Beans. His Franks and Beans get removed, and then he gets
Franks and
possessed by
Beans!
Turbo Granny, and that's where the adventure begins, because he's got to get this back while now being possessed by a super powerful demon. Great anime series. But that's Dan to Dan. Look, a lot of the anime series that I watch are very, very bizarre in what they are, and I think the thing that is probably toughest for Transformers or a lot of stories that I watch nowadays, even films, even like live action things that I watch, there is such art to the way stories are told in anime, the way that they go through character development, pacing, the dialogue, the action, everything that happens in these series. It's so carefully done. It's almost like you're always watching artwork play out. And I think looking at these stories, it has changed kind of the way that I watch things. It's kind of like I'm used to things being told a better way now from spending the last 2-3 years watching these anime series, where some things I watch a lot of American television now, and I just say, this is just lazy writing. Like, you really did not have to take these cliche routes to get to this what you would, I guess, consider an awesome ending. But I'm like, nah, that was whack, because the story that you told was really bland. And I think we need to do better if we're going to get butts in seats. Because I promise you, Liz, the way your theater was empty, my theater was empty. It's not going to go well for the future of Hollywood or for theaters if we keep getting subpar content. Transformers 1, this should have been a bigger draw. But like you said, we've had so much bad Transformer stuff before it. Ain't no one trying to get another bite at the apple with that. It's problematic for Hollywood as a whole. And there's a story that Mo was getting into on Later with Mo Kelly this past week, talking about the crisis that Hollywood is facing right now, with so much product being farmed outside of Hollywood. And as a result, though, we have fewer films and fewer projects being created altogether. Now you have a film company like Lionsgate who is partnering with an AI company to create content.
An AI
All of
company.
this is going to serve to just really water down what we get. Ultimately, theaters are going to suffer. Theaters are going to suffer mightily, because on the horizon, what is coming to theaters that any of us are really, really excited of for the rest of this quarter year?
Wicked.
Wicked will do well for fans of the play. If you're not a fan of the play, you're probably not familiar with the story, and you're not going to be drawn to a theater to see that little singer, the little girl who's playing
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, if you're not a big fan of Ariana Grande and you don't know who Cynthia Erivo is, you're not going to run out to go see Wicked. You're just not. You will go see Wicked. Mo saw the play, so Mo has a familiarity and probably a vested interest in seeing Wicked. Me, I want to see it because my daughter's like, oh my God, we got to go see Wicked. So I'm like, well, I guess we're going to go see Wicked.
This is a cheaper alternative than going to see the play.
True, but it's also not the play, which from my understanding is phenomenal.
Okay. I've seen it too many times. But that's another one. There's another big one that's supposed to be coming out. Anyone?
Is there anything really big coming out this year? I'm struggling because you said Wicked.
Sonic.
Girl,
there's another Sonic?
Sonic is not major.
Are you serious? People did not think okay.
Look, though, people who like Sonic 1, they like Sonic 2, and they'll probably like Sonic 3. But I like neither 1 or 2.
Okay, well, you're in the anomaly, because I'm going to say this. Sonic 3, the Sonic franchise has had the serious reboot. I thought originally that nobody was going to be seeing this movie. Just like when you guys told me that nobody would see Pokemon. And when I went to go see both of them, I was mystified by how into it these individuals are with Pokemon and Sonic. I think that there's a crowd. You asked me what's coming out. I think there's their own little niche demand for these kind of movies.
Okay, good, because I'm literally Googling. I'm trying to see, like, is there anything else really, really coming out through the rest of this year that's really, really going to get us to theaters? Like, yes, we go and see movies. Damn near is part of our job, right? It's part of like what we do. Like, we come, we review these films, and we let y'all know like what is or is not worth seeing, what's worth spending your money on. But right now, so many things are coming out that are bothersome, that just kind of just leave you like, man, I could have watched that at home. And there are too many. The new Venom film that's coming out, I'm not kidding. No one trying to see that.
Wow.
I want to try to see the Joker too. Here's the thing: Joker 1, for anyone who was a fan of the first Joker, most of them are even upset by the idea of this second one because it's a musical. So they're like, "Wait a minute, dog! You're doing the second one as a musical?"
Okay. You have Mufasa, the Lion King, and Gladiator 2, and Moana 2. Moana 2 is gonna be big.
Moana 2, I will be in there because Moana is without a doubt my favorite Disney animated film.
And for
Gladiator,
sure,
I don't need to
cannot
see
watch
Training Day
Gladiator 2.
in the Roman Coliseum, because that's what it looks literally like, Training Day in the Roman Coliseum. And
I don't know, but those are your biggies. Those are going to be your big ones of the year. The rest of this, people are somehow people want to see Venom. I don't understand it. I don't know how it keeps getting greenlit.
How?
But here we are.
I don't know. I don't know.
And with the mention of Joker, did anybody see Penguin?
No, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. And I don't think Tom. I don't think Tom or Mo saw Penguin yet. No, wait, Mo, did you see
No.
Penguin yet?
I know I didn't see it. I did start to watch that new animated Batman, that gender swapped Penguin for
Oh,
Mini Driver.
yeah, yeah.
Mini Driver.
I will say
It's an animated
a
series.
movie that, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a blockbuster because it's already headed to VOD, but I know Liz saw this. I think Liz saw it. Blink Twice.
Of course not.
Well, I will tell you, Zoe Kravitz is the director, and my sister, in some of her master's work and in doctoral work, was really big on the concept of final girls, which in horror movie parlance is the girl that survives, basically.
Mm.
Okay.
And I think Blink Twice probably suffered from the huge Diddy revelations. I mean, it came out like 2 weeks ago, which was like right on the cusp of everything going wrong with Diddy. Basically, the premise of the story is reclusive young billionaire Channing Tatum stumbles into this black girl who's kind of down on her luck and looking for a huge break. And he invites her to this island getaway. And there are beautiful women on the island, and everybody seems to be having fun, and they're doing shrooms and ayahuasca and all that sort of stuff, whatever. But her friend gets bitten by a snake. And the biting of the snake triggers a series of revelations that really take it from one place into another very dark place. And the third act spirals out of control very, very quickly. And it is triggered. The movie has a trigger warning that stays on screen for like 30 seconds. And it is easy to understand why people would be triggered. I think it's very skillfully done. I think Channing Tatum, I mean, not that there's a huge ooze of Channing Tatum, but for Deadpool and Wolverine to have a really big cameo, and then for Blink Twice, where he shows some depth as an actor that I did not know I would see. And then this young black actor who is the centerpiece of the film. And it feels very intentional that Zoe Kravitz centered a pretty unknown black actor to be the lead heroine in the movie. And then they sprinkled in some people who have been pop icons throughout the 80s. So Christian Slater is in there. Haley Joel Osment is in there in a cameo.
Are they in there as
No. I mean,
they're in there as characters.
They're in there as characters.
Okay.
But Christian Slater is never too far off from a young Jack Nicholson, and Haley Joel Osment is kind of leaning into the I peaked at 7, and so I'm this fat guy now. Who's
by the way, I mean, it sounds like also that, remember the dude from gosh, what was that? It was on HBO. I know that I used to it's similar to like Fox Media.
Succession.
Oh, Succession.
Succession, and the daughter's husband, he has been taken down because he's been doing exactly what you've been saying. There's a whole documentary on him, and I don't know if he's going to go to jail or not.
Wait, the guy from Tom from Succession?
Yes.
He was just Mr. Paradox, wasn't he?
Right.
So,
there's a documentary on that?
There's a whole documentary
from Deadpool and Wolverine.
I am so confused. So he's a predator?
Am I skipping is it the wrong young white actor? Am I getting them? Am I getting them too? Am I getting them confused?
Are you talking about Kieran Culkin?
No. Tom, who played the husband who ran the amusement parks in Succession.
No, I know, but he's not particularly young. Liz kind of.
Well, I mean, But anyway, I mean, it's this. Okay, I'll bring up the name of the guy. But there's this whole documentary, and he came out with this whole thing saying how broke
Tom
he
Wong
is.
scams.
Yes, how broke he is, and he had to sell his Cadillac Escalade. Um, but he comes from money, so I don't
Matthew
know if he's.
McFadden.
Matthew McFadden.
I don't know.
That's his real name.
Right.
And he's out there. You said he's out there diddying people. Wait, he's doing what?
He's
Yes.
40. He's 49. He's
Putting people. Okay, well, he's putting people on. He's doing worse than Diddy. Actually, he does the whole island thing because he has more money.
Hold on. It's
Well-
going to take a lot for him to do worse than Diddy.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Diddy
that's a
is.
lot.
There it is.
I mean, Diddy has is in his own little lane. But anyway, so I'm just saying, I think maybe it's just the culture is what the movie is trying to highlight on.
Oh,
Well,
you're talking about the connection you're making is how that can be, how what's happening with this McFadden character is similar to what's being told in the Blink Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
it's what you expect it is, but there's a nice ladies get revenge flip
Okay.
at the end. That's
Yeah.
it's not there are only snatches of the violence against the women, which again feels like a strong directorial choice from Zoe Kravitz. But I was impressed. It's very stylish. It's set on a billionaire playboy's island, so it's very beautiful and lush and well composed, and has a creeping, impending sense of dread that propels you through all three acts, especially once there's a huge turn in Act 2, and then another reveal in the middle of Act 3, which is just like, oh snap, okay, got it. So I think it's worth watching. Obviously, it's not going to be in theaters very long, so you might as well wait for VOD. But I'm interested to see, in terms of the state of the industry, when a movie fails at the box office, and so 2 weeks later they're prepping it to go on VOD just to kind of leverage the
Just to
energy
get it.
that you have,
Yeah.
get the most out of the promotion. And this definitely feels like a movie that is going to be disturbing. It's not a date movie, because why would you take your date on a movie that is centered in drugging, sexually
Drugging and
assaulting
abusing
people?
women.
So
That's not.
it-
But
it's-
then maybe
I don't know the
the
market for it in the theater.
maybe the Don't Let Go will be will have some legs in it, because if you have Don't Let Go, which is targeting adults and horror fans, and then you have Transformers, which is targeting kids and parents with kids, and fans of maybe the 80s nostalgia, then I see this weekend as being a wash, really and truly, for films. I mean, just nothing is likely going to really come out gangbusters on Monday when we recap the weekend box office. It's not likely to be a stellar weekend for films. It's
No.
just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. Plus, there's still a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
things to
y'all.
watch on
Okay, this
TV.
is the name. This is the guy's name. It's the House of Hammer. It's Army Hammer.
Girl.
Oh, Armie Hammer, he wasn't in Succession.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
Okay,
in
my
that at
bad.
all.
They all look alike.
Good
Oh.
night. I'm like trying to.
What show was he
Armie Hammer does
on?
not
Here.
look like-
What show was
Not
he on?
Succession.
Not
No,
Succession.
Armie
but yes,
Hammer was in Death on the Nile. Armie Hammer was in The Social Network.
yeah, that stuff
he's-
about him that came out a while ago. all the crazy
that's a
stuff.
lot.
he
Yeah.
That's
was
like
in.
some Nexium level stuff.
Yeah, but they have the
Yeah.
documentary that's out now. Though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
You
Tom
said-
Womgams.
Right.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
My
man,
apologies.
We're
Man,
gonna have to edit that whole thing.
bruh, Tom.
Don't wanna get sued for that.
Sorry.
My apologies. My apologies.
Híjole. Yeah, Armie Hammer can go to hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd be interested to see how you all think of Penguin and how that would work for you guys.
This is the one with
What's interesting is I didn't like the Batman. I know I'm probably the only
I
one
didn't
in the
either.
crew that did. Okay,
No,
you didn't
I
like it.
didn't either.
Look, I did not
was
like that
alright.
movie. It took me forever to finish watching it. I was so bored. I
thought
don't
Zoe
know why I
Kravitz was
need to
great.
see a series about quite possibly one of the most uninteresting villains in Batman's rogue gallery. Like Penguin is never first on anyone's list. Is like, man, watch out for
You
the
know, I have a
Penguin.
question, and you guys will know better than me. They have him out in all purple. I'm sorry,
Oh.
plum.
Yeah,
And I just
Oh,
would have
instead
thought
of
that
a
would have been
tuxedo.
weird.
no, I mean he wears all kind of suits.
No,
Oswald
no, but I
Cobblepot.
mean like
Yeah, but I think that's
his
more Joker.
right,
Yeah,
like so
purple is
his
Joker.
car's plum, everything's plum. It's like his color, and I was just like, but really? I thought that the penguin would be a little bit more black
Maybe that's a little
Agreed.
too on the nose. Maybe
Maybe
they're
he
like, no,
plans
we
to
don't put him in a
Howard.
black and white suit.
or a
I
black
mean,
and
it's
white
it's
car.
tough. I mean, he's a slovenly character, not a character who has any real interesting power. He was just a greedy, manipulative,
Mobster.
wannabe crime
Sociopath.
boss. For his entire existence, there's never been anything interesting or powerful about the Penguin. So to do a whole series based on this B-level bat villain to give him a whole thing. Look, I appreciate the work that Colin Farrell put into becoming the Penguin because that
He looks
makeup
great.
job is stellar. That is a stellar, but
And the way that
going
he
to see a
walks,
series? I
yeah,
don't
the
know
way
about
that
all
he
that.
walks is actually, I was like, oh, this fits. I didn't even think about the penguin um justifying how he walks. I don't know.
Okay.
He looked great. He looked great. That's for sure.
I mean, look,
I fell
we
asleep on it
watch
though.
all
So
things nerdy. It's just not high on the list.
that's
Not
fair.
high on the
It's
list
only
at all.
one episode. So if
Oh,
that
okay. So,
makes you
so it's not a lot
feel
out so far. Okay.
if that makes you
All right.
feel better, you can get through it.
All right. Well, I will check it out. What else are you watching, Liz, besides that?
Um, well, Tulsa King is back.
Hmm.
So Tulsa King is back. I am so excited. Unfortunately, they don't. I guess they put the episodes out on Sundays because I've been looking for it. There is only one episode at a time, which is kind of a downside. Um, and Apple TV is Apple TV. By the way, and I know that they're going to be cutting back on Apple TV content, which is it's really a shame. But Pachinko is back, so that's really awesome. I have to say that if you appreciate representation and culture, Apple TV does such a fantastic job at giving you that appreciation of different cultures, um, and respecting different cultures that you would really go down a rabbit hole and start loving a lot of their content.
Okay. Okay. Tom, what you watching?
Actually, this is kind of a throwback series, and I love how sometimes I'm just scrolling in like Facebook Reels, and it'll show me one of those clips that's super annoying because they have to invert the video so that the algorithm doesn't catch it, and then it's like you only get 30 seconds of it right as it gets interesting. So there's a series called Good Behavior. It actually stars the woman who played the oldest sister in Downton Abbey, but she's American and she's a con artist, former meth addict, and she stumbles into a circumstance that turns into a strained relationship that turns into an actual relationship with a contract killer. So their meet cute is she's robbing the guy's room and has to hide in a closet while she overhears the plans for this guy to have his wife killed. And so she goes to try to save the wife's life. The wife ends up getting killed anyway, and then he catches up with her and kind of presses her into service for a while before learning and kind of developing real feelings. And she's got kind of a neurodivergent son who is also half black. because apparently that's in vogue. She slept with this basically freak down dude who was also into meth and had this kid, and her life just kind of spiraled. So now it's this weird relationship that it kind of seems should be more broken than it actually ends up being, because they both have really deep-seated issues, and worth watching. There's only 2 seasons of it, so I'm near the end of the first season climax.
All right.
Not
all right.
nerdy, but good.
But deep. Yeah. What you checking out, Mo?
Not a damn thing.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm being serious. There's nothing that I'm checking out right about now.
Now you're not watching the Tulsa King?
No, I have to figure out a way to get Paramount Plus back for free.
I dig
I'm
that.
trying to pay for one series.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I can
tough.
Dig that. No doubt. Yeah, no, there's the TV choices are slim. There's a lot of interesting things that keep popping up on Netflix. Just stuff that I'm like, oh, I'll check this out. Nothing to really mention for me again tonight. As soon as we finish this, I'll be jumping on Crunchyroll, checking out Wands of Wisteria. That is an amazing series. Of course, One Piece is maintaining its intrigue and story, stellar storytelling and action. And of course, My Hero Academia is, oh my God, good. You have never seen a show with this much heart. And every single episode of this season that we're in right now is edge of your seat. Every single episode could be a cliffhanger. Hard to imagine watching an anime series and being brought to tears when you see some of these characters and see what they go through. And it's just stellar storytelling. And so that's where I spend most of my time watching stuff. I know Agatha comes out, I think, on, was it Wednesdays, Thursdays?
Yeah,
So
I'll be looking forward
Wednesdays.
to And the thing that
Yeah.
sucks about that is that, they always put it on at like 6:00.
Yeah. Trust, by the time I see it, it's Saturday morning, really.
I mean, the Lord of the
or Friday
Rings,
night.
the Lord of the Rings series is back, y'all.
No, and I will watch that eventually. But to me, I thought that series ended when it ended. Like when the first season ended, I'm like, wait a minute, why are we going back for more? What you telling me that there's more that you need to tell us? I'm
Yeah,
like,
because we're
"Jeez,
supposed
man."
aren't we supposed to get all the way up to how he becomes Gandalf?
Look, I guess because he's supposed to be making an appearance, and guess what? They're doing a whole new freaking film. They are doing a whole new film with Ian McKellen, with the dude who was the elf, with
Again.
the night guy, all the little what, not Lilliputians, what are they called in this thing?
The Hobbits.
The Hobbits, all of them, they're all coming back. They're doing a film called The Hunt for
Lilliputians.
Gollum. It is a new series of
Gollum.
films, The Hunt for Gollum.
Okay, see,
That is the new, I kid you, I'm not
I
even
go-
playing.
I-
They're doing a whole new
I-
film about this.
I hear you, and I'm saying I'm going back to what Ryan said in the beginning. It's so old to the
Yes.
point where I'm not sure if there's an audience for it.
No,
just like The
definitely
Matrix.
not an audience for people who want to go and see them find Gollum. Who cares?
Because I didn't
Who
like the
cares what
Hobbit
happened to Gollum?
series.
I'm confused, man. I'm confused.
So I mean, I don't know. And then for me, there's so many names. There's so many things. I was like, I mean, I watch it, but it's not like I'm wondering what their matrix are for how many people are eager to watch it. Like how many people jump on as soon as it drops, or at least within the first 24 to 48 hours of it drops, because it never trends. So
I don't know. It's
I wonder what
yeah,
the market
they
is.
gave it a whole nother season, and until you brought it up right now,
Rings
it's
of
something
Power
that
or
I
something.
keep forgetting that they came back with, because again, I was done when they finished the last season. I was like, thank you, Jesus, you've gotten to the end of this story finally. And I liked the first season. I thought it was good. I was like, wow, this is good to see how all these characters kind of came together. And I'm like, good, we're done.
Well,
And now you're telling me that they're back for more going back.
Well,
and
we're supposed to also try to figure out like how the evil became evil, right?
oh my God, okay.
Like, I mean, this is supposed to be forging like the rings of power. Like in the in the first season, we
I
didn't
swear
even get to
they
a ring
explain
yet.
that in the 4-hour version of the film. They explain why the rings came together, why they were
Okay, but
forged,
I'm
and
saying like the first rings coming together. We
oh,
never even got to the first rings until the end of the last season. So it doesn't and then how we get to the corruptness of the rings, like that's what this season is supposed to get to.
mm.
I think we got a couple of more seasons.
Oh, gee, okay, okay, okay.
Because Gandalf
Woo!
is still not like Gandalf. Like he's
He's not
still trying to
Gandalfing.
figure out like how to walk.
Oh God,
Last
okay,
season was how to walk. Now this season is like, oh, I have power.
okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Eventually, maybe over the holiday break, I'll catch up on all this stuff. But the next thing I guess coming out worth round tabling about is maybe this coming Saturday. If anyone else is gonna see this Joker movie, I will be seeing it
The Joker movie's this Saturday? I
the
don't believe
4th.
it.
Yeah, October 4th.
Okay, so next Saturday though, there's another movie coming out that I'm sure nobody's gonna watch. But the 27th is that other movie it's another movie coming out. But so you're thinking that people are going to actually want to see this Joker movie October 4th.
Well, look, we can get together for the Joker. I've already got tickets to see it. I'm gonna go see it. Because I promised a friend that I would take him to go see it because he was a big fan. I said, I'll go watch that. Yeah, I'll go see it with you. He's like, oh man, I appreciate that, man. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're gonna go see the Joker, the Folie, and the singing. I'm walking into that film expecting to hate it. So if it's a little bit good, I win, and if it's absolutely terrible, I still, I don't lose anything. So, and I got it on my AMC pass, so I didn't have to pay for the ticket. So I'm good. I'm good either way. I know, and what's interesting is the Venom film is they dropped a major revelation about a character in the Venom film that became a major player and has actually plagued the entire Marvel comic universe.
I know.
The king of the symbiotes by the name of Null. And so they're supposed to be going to the planet of the symbiotes and there's supposed to be some whole thing. And yes, this will be the
You mean in Venom?
In the Venom film, yes. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what I say, Carnage. Whatever. The Venom film. So them revealing that is interesting because that is a major character. The Black King is a major character in the comics right now and actually almost threatened to venomize the entire planet. It was a whole thing.
Venomize.
Because there was a whole bunch of characters who were being infected by symbiotes who were trying to take over the world, and then they discovered the origin of the symbiotes and Venom's creator and all that kind of stuff, and then Venom became the symbiote god, and there's a whole lot of stuff that happened in the comics. So them introducing this character in this film, and I forgot who's playing him. It's someone pretty heavy. It's like a pretty heavyweight character. Not Josh Brolin, but there's someone big that's playing this character in the film, like a major actor that's like, oh snap, who is it? Damn it, I forgot. I just read this earlier.
So actually, I know what it was coming out, which I'm not gonna go see. The Wild Robot that has been everywhere, and there's this other movie by, and I do like Driver, but he's doing Megalopolis.
No one's gonna go see Megalopolis.
I'm just here to report.
No, I got you.
I'm not here to say.
Look,
and then of course you can always go
now
you can go and always re-release and go see all your old movies back on like Pacific Realm, which is supposedly a fan favorite. You can go back and watch all the old movies coming back to your theater near you.
That is true. Because every week they're showing something old. That is true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, we will reconvene soon enough with some more nerdiness. Dr. Liz, if you will, take us out, sister.
Good night, everyone.
Mo Kelly.
Multipass.
Thomas Talkie Cunningham.
Where is my blink twice suit?
Excelsior.